Hello everybody and welcome back to another Get to Know interview where we take content creators, bring them over this channel over here, and we kind of get to know, and the goal is to get to know the creator behind the camera. Today I am absolutely honored to have StrawDesertHD on. I'm recording this after I already spoke to him, and it was an honor getting to know him. Just like I said, guys, the goal with this is not just to talk about Fortnite, which we do talk about. We talk about the metaverse, we talk about just big seasons in general, Marvel seasons, things like that, but it's more so to get to know the journey behind a content creator. Straw is fantastic at what he does. I watch his videos all the time. I think I mentioned this in the interview, but actually what I've been doing recently is watching his Sonic playthroughs because, of course, I need something nice and calm for the background. Nice long videos too, and it's perfect for just when I'm hanging out with my daughter, when I'm feeding her, anything like that. It's all perfect. So guys, if you're interested, check out Straw. Pinned comment, description down below if you have not subscribed over to his channel already. Let's get into it. It was a fantastic conversation. All right, Straw, thank you so much for coming over to the channel.
Thanks for having me.
Can you introduce yourself, share a bit of your background and your content, and what inspired you to start making that content?
I am Nick, aka StrawDesertHD. You're not going to believe it, but I actually started YouTube making Roblox videos.
Okay, I thought that was Destiny, but I started watching your channel once I started talking to Jake. It was just, I want to say it was a couple years ago now, but I didn't know that.
Yeah, so 2013, I made a channel on my mother's account that I did not keep. I got rid of it pretty quickly. But I was making Roblox videos. But it wasn't like your standard, like, I'm playing Roblox, watch me play this map or this map. I was playing Roblox and building Skylanders in Roblox. Because Skylanders, at the time, was one of my favorite things. I was obsessed with it. And I'm not able to really show the entire cabinet, but I have a whole cabinet of like 400 of these damn things sitting right next to me.
Oh my God, that's awesome. Why'd you get rid of the channel? Were you just, was it like kind of just...
It was tied to my mom's account.
I
so
see.
I didn't really, I didn't really think that was a good idea to keep that because it was affecting her stuff.
That's fun. Did it ever pick up any traction?
No.
Oh,
No,
so
it
was
didn't.
it like the kid kind of like the kid YouTube channel that everybody kind of started?
No, it was like 0 views. I'd be lucky if I got anything, and I was just doing it to do it.
Well,
but on this channel, on the new channel I have, the one that I'm working on, that I've been working on for the last 10 years at this point, this is actually the 10th year. I started it. My very first video was a Team Fortress 2 video. I have since unlisted it because I think it's a little cringy and I am still struggling to get used to it myself, but it was me with my 13-year-old voice talking to one of my friend's younger brothers, and I called it Fish Battle. I was holding a fish, fighting this dude with a fish, and it was just like, fish, come on, I get the fish. I was like, oh my God, I can't keep this up.
why not? Can I see it at least? Is it unlisted?
It is unlisted. I can actually send you the link to
Yes.
this.
Oh, you don't have to do it right now. I actually kind of want to see that. Maybe you can make that
I do wanna...
Some people make their old videos like members only if people want to see them be cringe and stuff like that. Maybe you could do something like that.
I'm just going to keep it open on a browser so I remember to actually send it to you. But
I actually am really hyped to see that. You get the special interview privileges over here.
Yeah. It was up for so long too.
That's hilarious. I thought you started off with, well, at least like starting off with your own kind of niche in YouTube. I thought you were starting off with Destiny.
I technically did, because that was the first thing I actually put effort into. It was the first thing that actually started to get traction. At the time when I was making those videos, Destiny 1 had released, and we were like in the first or second, actually no, it was the first year of Destiny. And there were these little things. Do you have any knowledge of Destiny and how it works?
I started playing Destiny 2, but not very much. It's a beautiful game.
So when you get a drop, it's an engram. You can go and take these engrams and decrypt them at this guy called the Cryptarch, and they give you either armor or weapons. Well, back in the Destiny days, there were people who were looking for engram farming spots where you could just harvest out enemies, killing them nonstop over and over again, and see if you can get one of these to drop. And eventually, after hours of playing, you'd have at least like 30 of these things on the ground, and you could just go and mass collect them all at once. And my very first video that I did on Destiny was an engram farming spot. That one is still up. That one is just the whole step-to-step guide of like, hey, here's a spot. Kill this. Jump up around the corner of the building. Go up to a spot where it spawns everything. Come back down and then do it again.
Hey, a lot of people really look for that content too. I know it seemed to be. I took a quick look because I was obviously preparing for this. I took a quick look and it seemed like that was picking up some nice traction.
Yep.
So with the one thing that I also didn't know, because like I said, I started watching you like I want to say a year or two ago, right? I didn't know how long you've been making content for. So from Destiny to Fortnite, and I know you've mentioned in one of your recent videos, which I haven't seen, there was also some Geometry Dash in there. Walk me through the decision of why you've changed so many times.
Well, when I was young, growing up, trying to figure out what I wanted to do, my entire background of games has been just a mishmash of a lot of different things. Like my very first game that I ever played was Spyro, collectathon platformer type game. And in recent years, I've fallen in love with games like, obviously, Fortnite, Battle Royale, completely different genre. I'm trying out games that I've never tried before, like BioShock, which I've been doing this year. I've got Resident Evil that I've done in the last few years. Like, there are so many different things that I just grew up changing from. And I think for me, what I like about my content recently is the fact that I can just do what I want, enjoy what I want, get my first thoughts, my first reactions on things that I've never even experienced, and just have fun with it. I've always wanted that.
Yeah, no, that makes a ton of sense.
And one other thing I want to mention, which I think is kind of funny, because not very many people knew about the Geometry Dash thing. There is a huge gap, and you'll be able to notice it pretty easily. There's a huge gap in my content where there's like a solid year and a half of stuff that's just gone.
I think I did see that actually, because again, I was looking around to make sure I had my facts right when I was preparing these questions over here. That's all the geometry stuff that you deleted?
Oh yeah, there was at least 1,000 videos almost that I deleted off that channel. I was uploading a level every time I beat it.
Oh my God.
Because I, for some reason, thought that was a good thing to do. And when I started getting monetized on YouTube, YouTube was like, okay, if you have this amount of copyright restrictions, we can't monetize you. I'm like, oh.
Was it the music?
Mass deleted them. Yeah, Geometry Dash is heavily like copyright claimable. There is very rarely will you ever be able to find a song that is not copyrighted in that game.
Is it all Geometry Dash original, and that's who they're copywriting it?
They take songs from anything. Like there are artists out there, like Waterflame, for example. He's a very prominent musician that has a lot of his stuff in Geometry Dash, and every single thing that he has made, copyright claim. You cannot use it at all. You will not make any money.
Man, have you played at all with the new YouTube Erase song feature?
I don't know if I'm thinking of the same one that you're thinking of.
If there's a copyright claim on YouTube, you can, like in the screen where you can dispute it or appeal it, there's now a new erase song feature. And it'll keep all of your other audio and just erase the music. It's incredible.
Okay, yes, I have done that. There are a couple of my recent videos for Geometry Dash that I've done.
Yes. Did it work out?
Sort of. It kind of makes like a weird, like when you're playing the game, there's a lot of clicking involved. So you'll hear all the clicking on the video. But when it comes to taking out that audio, the click starts sounding kind of like you're just going on your hand.
Oh, okay. I guess that makes sense. I've used it for a couple TikToks and it's worked out perfectly fine for me, but I can't imagine like an entire level.
Yeah, it's just kind of like your voice just slightly muffled with a little bit of the audio slightly peeking through, and it's just silence while you're watching this cube roll around on a screen. Like,
yeah,
this looks cool, but I don't hear nothing.
Yeah, and actually, a lot of the hype with Geometry Dash is completing the music.
Yep, there's a lot of good ones, but a lot of those good ones, you can't even use the music. I gave up on a couple of them. My most recent one for the Forest Gauntlet, Oh my god, there's like 2 songs in there I couldn't do. The
Oh,
very first level was Water Flame, could not monetize it at all. And the last level is just so beautiful. I didn't even want to touch it, so I kept it in. I don't care if I don't make anything.
so was the Geometry Dash content before Fortnite?
Yes. Yes,
So
it was. That was 2018, I think.
am I correct in assuming that the reason you switched over was just because of YouTube monetization?
Yes. That is entirely why.
Why'd you choose Fortnite?
And well, that honestly is a good question. When I first got introduced to Fortnite, I fell in line with a lot of people where it's like, this game sucks. Why would I want to try this? I don't understand this. And then I gave it a shot, and I'm like, yeah, it's not actually half bad. Give it a shot, see what I can do. My friends had me come over to their house, and they're like, hey, you're good at games. Can you find this, this, and this? Because we have challenges to do. And I'm like, ooh, I like challenges. I was very interested in the Call of Duty Black Ops 2 challenges, like all those missions spread across each level that you play. I loved that. So when that came to Fortnite, I was like, this is it. This is what I'm doing. So the very first introduction, the very first thing I did was I went around the map in Chapter 2, Season 4, finding garden gnomes. And I was just, I located all of them. I found everything. I was like, hey, got them all. You got XP. Cool.
I actually remember that challenge.
Yep.
So,
And that was my introduction.
what do you think about the challenges now while we're on the topic? Like, cause I hate them now. I hate them because it's like step 1, step 2, step 11, and they're not interesting. Like find the gnomes or find the fort bite. It's just do damage with an AR.
I will stand by this one thing because this has affected me the most. One of the biggest reasons why I switched my content in 2021 to that New Year, New Game challenge that I've been doing, one of the main reasons is because Fortnite challenge videos they're not possible anymore. Not in a capacity where it can actually do some good. I made them purely because I wanted to help. But now all of that help is integrated into the game. So there's no reason to look up videos when you can just click on the map and be like, oh, there it is.
Yeah, that's a good point. I never actually thought about that.
The entirety of what I used to do, it's just, I can't do it anymore. I've tried, and it gets me and it gets no one else anywhere in the game.
Did you ever think about doing any other Fortnite content?
I have, but a lot of what I've wanted to do results in needing money to do it, like purchasing skins, reviewing skins. I'm lucky that I can review the jam tracks every week and not have to worry about paying for them. Thank you, Harmonix.
Wait.
Thank you for allowing that.
Why don't you have to pay for them?
Well, they're on the daily rotation for free.
Oh,
day,
that's how you
every
get it.
time
Okay.
they release.
Okay.
So,
I forgot about that actually.
Yeah. So if I can't get into a game with Jake and do some of the stuff early with him, which that's kind of funny. I had 2 friends named Jake. First one was in the program, left the program. I was doing the jam track reviews with him. And now I've got the other Jake, the one we know. Now he's been helping me with the new ones early. It's like, wow, I went from Jake to Jake.
Hey,
Weird.
nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
I like now Jake.
Yeah.
So actually, speaking of like switching games and everything, what made you what kind of brought you to the decision to focus on a variety of games and more so of just kind of what you want to play?
I feel like I missed out on too much when I was growing up. I was very static. As much as I say that I did have a variety of stuff growing up, like Sonic, Spyro, Crash Bandicoot, Scalar, Sly Cooper, as much as I had all of those, it was all within the same genre. I always stuck within platformer or collectathon type stuff. I never got to experience things like Skyrim, BioShock, Fallout. Out of those ones I just mentioned, the only one that I've played is the one I'm currently doing, which is BioShock. I still have never played Skyrim. I still have never played Fallout.
Interesting.
All these different games. I'm doing the variety stuff because I have so much to catch up on. And I feel like for content, first reactions to everything, it would be pretty nice.
Yeah, I like seeing that, especially with like if you're such a big fan of something and somebody's first getting into it. I think that's a wholesome thing to watch.
Yep.
So
my first ever Souls game was Elden Ring because I never had time.
Yeah,
I would have done it.
There's so many games that I want to try too. Sometimes I watch you play games that I've never even not heard of, but never been into. Actually, while we're on the topic, I've been binging all of your Sonic content with my baby now because there's so much time where I'm just sitting on the couch with her like burping her or something, and I was like, oh, Straw's an easy video to put on in the background, just watching that, an old game that I love. I grew up loving the Sonic games.
Yeah, that's awesome. I actually just got done with Sonic Adventure.
Yeah, I think I'm up to Amy on that one. But regardless, I've been enjoying it. It's also like the old games too. It just brings you back to your childhood a little bit.
Oh my god. Sly Cooper. Favorite game of all time. I will always stand by that.
I've actually never played Sly Cooper.
Highly recommend it.
I hear such good things about it. The problem is, and I've been talking about this recently on the channel, there's so many games that I'm so interested in playing, but Fortnite's so easy, and Fortnite's my favorite game, so I just hop on whenever I have time to play video games, and I end up choosing Fortnite.
Yeah.
So go ahead.
I was gonna say I'm kind of to a point now where I'm not necessarily on Fortnite all the time, but I'm on it to do all the necessary things. I don't miss out battle passes. I have not missed out on a battle pass since I've started, and I do as many challenges as I can, try to get as many cosmetics as I can, but ultimately I'm not on it 24/7 like I was in college.
I get that. Especially if it must be tough too if you're grinding so many things, you enjoy the challenge so much and then it just flat out changed.
Yep. I love the fort bites. They should come back. I'm sticking with that.
What do you think about that? Because there were a lot of people back in the day. I've always particularly liked the fort bites. I thought it was interesting, especially how you had to unlock. Were you ever into the Fortnite storyline?
Oh yeah.
Oh, okay. Always. I loved the idea of all these fort bites kind of piecing together and unlocking this loading screen, which told so much about the story. And sometimes even today, people are still bringing it up. Like, what if it's this thing on the Jonesy loading screen? I really, really loved that. People at the time did not like fort bites for the most part. And now the Fortnite community, as usual. Oh, the fort bites were so great. What do you think about all that?
Oh my God. There were so many people back in that day. They were just like, this sucks. Why do I have to do this every day? I don't have time for this. And I'm just sitting here like, this is a new challenge every day. It's something different every day. Why do you not enjoy this? This is like one of that was one of my favorite things about Fortnite during that time, was not only did we have the fort bites that we had unlocking every day with maybe a couple mass releasing every week. We also had Downtown Drop. We had the John Wick stuff. We had Avengers Endgame. All of this stuff all happening at once. There's so much to do. And I love that. Absolutely. I don't understand why that was such a problem.
Yeah,
the fort bites. Oh my God. That was another thing. Fortnite, one of the biggest things on my channel that I started with, I was working with another guy. His name is Gamer Hex. He currently goes by Fortnite Events now on YouTube. We were working together, and we literally found a pattern in the files, every single fort bite, beginning to end, what days they were releasing.
What do you mean pattern?
They literally had numbers on them. So like in the files, you could see this fort bite with this challenge, it had like H and then another number. So it was like H12, 13, 14, 15, all the way to 100. Every single update. If you go back and look at those videos, and if you're able to somehow see when they were posted, I scheduled them the night before so that they released on the day of and be like, hey, new fort bite. Here's how you do it.
That's so smart. Oh my God. That's incredible.
Now everybody back then, they called me a Fortnite leaker. I'm like, I'm not really a Fortnite leaker. I got into the files and I did a couple things.
You know what?
I'm not like Fire Monkey or Hypex or anybody else that's doing this stuff.
You know what I liked about it too, the fort bites, was back in the day, speaking of leaks actually, the Jonesy loading screen would have been leaked like 2 seasons ago now. I love the fact that every single day we got just a little bit closer, and it was such an easy thing to do. 1 fort bite a day. I played most days. I would imagine most people at that time played most days. So it's a very, very easy thing to do, and you could unlock a beautiful part of the story. That's what I loved about Fortnite back then.
Yeah, it was amazing.
So is there anything that would bring you back strictly to Fortnite content?
I don't know. Back then, I really liked the idea of if I can do one thing forever, I'll do it. But now I've experienced what that's like, and I just don't like being tied down to one thing. I like being able to have that creative freedom. And if I'm stuck behind one game forever, I don't have that.
That's
I
true.
don't have that creative freedom, and that just doesn't sit right with me.
That makes a lot of sense. And something that I also wanted to talk about to you, and we've been talking about this more recently in these interviews, is like just content creation journey and all that. Do you ever worry about YouTube's algorithm with playing so many different games?
Yeah, I have definitely experienced that already just in the last 2 years. I took it slow in 2023 to test the waters and see what the algorithm was like. And I learned that if I don't do enough, I'm not going to get anywhere. And I also learned in recent months that if I do too much, I'm also not going to get anywhere. So I got to have that nice balance in between. So what I have got planned right now is I'm going to be uploading the variety videos every Sunday, and I'm going to see how that plays out. So far, it's going well. My Jack and Daxter playthrough, as a matter of fact, I just checked it before the interview here. 100 views on the second video. The likelihood of that on most of my other playthroughs recently has been like slim to none.
Oh, interesting.
I'm very surprised at the fact that spreading them out like this, but still keeping them consistent, is keeping it going well. So,
Yeah, I've played with that myself, like when I first started YouTube uploading different games, and sometimes I still do it, but it's obviously a lot easier once you get a solid community behind it. And this is what I imagine once you start to get really, really big, that people are more drawn to you for just your commentary, your reactions and stuff like that. And then it will eventually just won't matter what games you play. So there's definitely success to be had. It's just, it's so hard to break through that first algorithm, especially because like, okay, Fortnite videos, they're recommending just the Fortnite audience, right?
Yep.
It's just really tough. How do you plan on just keeping with this thing that you have going on right now? Just like uploading the variety. I believe you said it was on Sunday.
Yeah, I'm going to test it out and see how Sunday uploads work. I definitely plan to do a couple of things in between. I'm not going to dedicate only Sundays to this stuff. But I definitely think if I keep like a nice spread out, but also kind of close together schedule, then things will work out a little bit better.
It's interesting too that you said too much won't bring you success. And a long time ago that I used to upload videos twice a day because I had the mindset where it's like, hey, double the videos, double the success. But I actually figured
the entirety of March.
Yeah.
I don't know if you noticed, the entirety of March, I had a video every day.
Well, I don't think every day. This is what I do now, and I find success with it personally. I make videos every day, but there was a point where I was making 2, sometimes even 3 videos a day because just the thought process there. But then people don't have time, or I just guess don't want to watch you over and over in the same day. It's really, really tough getting around that entire YouTube algorithm. Would you consider continuing to upload just as like not twice a day? Sorry, I'm a little bit struggling with my question here. Like, is there a point where you would increase the volume with what exactly is too much for you?
Too much for me is if I look at my calendar and I see that almost every day is blocked out with something. I like to have at least 2 to 3 days in between uploads.
Okay, I see.
If I can make sure that I have enough room for any surprise things that happen, like the Geometry Dash gauntlets, I have no clue when they're happening. And sometimes, especially in the last 5 months, they happen to fall on days where I've already got a video uploaded for that day.
Yeah.
Because these gauntlets release at like 5 o'clock or maybe even later at that night. So it's like, oh, well, that's great. This is already done. That Amy playthrough you were talking about, I uploaded that 2 days early because I'm like, I have nothing planned. That night, mystery gauntlet. It's always against me.
Dude, it always works like that. Actually, today, like at the time of recording this video for anybody watching, there was I've been recently getting into like the Fortnite community drama content, and I usually plan my stuff so nicely. Bang, big thing comes out, big drama. I'm like, well, I got to make a video on that. And an hour ago, I just uploaded.
Oh, geez.
It's always tough. It's always so tough, but I ended up doing it anyways. And so far, so good. But I understand.
Recent, I probably don't know what it is. I haven't been.
It's
research.
It's a little bit of actually a little dicey for YouTube friendliness over here. I had to be careful with my words. So,
Yeah.
anyways, I want to dive into a little bit more about you. Do you work outside of YouTube?
It's funny you say this at this current moment. If you had got me 3 weeks ago, I would have said no. And that I've been searching for a job for over, how long have I been out of school now? I've been out since December. I've been searching for a job for a while. I got a master's degree in information design and technology and a bachelor's in game design and interactive media. I have been trying my hardest to get into the games industry. And as soon as I get done with college, the whole thing fell apart.
Why?
Massive layoffs everywhere. Epic, Bungie, all these big companies losing jobs, and they're making it so much harder to get in, because now I go online and I look at an entry-level position, it's like, 7 years experience. Entry level. How does that make sense?
You know what's funny
I really
is
don't get it.
minimum wage jobs are doing that. I don't know what it's like where you live, at least where I am. Like, you can apply for a job at like McDonald's and they're like, hey, we want 3 years of work experience. It's like this is what we're talking about.
I can't get simple retail jobs now.
Yeah.
Because I have a master's degree. Literal jobs that should be easy to get into are looking at me and saying, no, we can't do that because we have to pay you more. And I'm literally like, I had a manager actually tell me at one point that they were afraid that I was going to take their job, so they couldn't hire me.
Oh, I believe that. I so believe that.
I just want a job, man, which I have one now. I'm going to be working as a substitute teacher, so that's going to be nice.
Oh, that's nice. That's actually what I not substitute, but I wanted to actually be a teacher before I changed things up. Why teacher?
That's all I can get. I didn't want to do it, but I do have a background in it. I did work at my college. I was a graduate assistant for my my game design professor. So there was a time where I did actually teach the game design classes.
Is it in design, I'm assuming?
It was 3DS, or not 3DS Max, that was the old one. Autodesk Maya. I was teaching the 3D basics on how to get used to modeling, animating, and doing all that stuff.
It's really cool. And so, I mean, is that what you're subbing for right now?
Oh, no. Okay. No. It's going to be like history and math and all this other stuff that I don't really care about, but I can do it. It's not bad.
It's really sad that people who graduate and put so much work into what they actually want to do and end up not being able to do that. There's a lot of people who I work with. I work in a hospital, and there's a lot of people who are stuck doing housekeeping jobs, and they wanted to like do anything else. They went to school for so many years, and it sucks when you work that hard.
Yeah, I know somebody who actually got a master's degree, and she's working 3 jobs right now because she can't afford to make ends meet. Yeah, and she needs 3 jobs with a master's degree. That's insane.
Yeah, and then you're stuck with all that debt after school, and you can't even get a high-paying job. Yeah. They're like, nah, too much money to pay you.
I got lucky that I got this sub job, because if I didn't have it, I'd be screwed.
Yeah,
I have to start paying back $500 a month in September. That's not good.
And that's actually something that I wanted to talk to you about. And again, this is the part where I was a little bit worried. Like, if there's anything that you're uncomfortable with, by the way, we'll do a jump cut. All good. You recently mentioned, and after watching your channel update video, I think that's one you were talking about 3 weeks ago-ish, something like that. And you said that, to use your words, you're screwed. What do you mean by that?
I didn't have enough money between YouTube and the fact that I was not having a paying job. Like,
So is that getting better now?
Oh yeah.
Oh, good.
Everything's working. Without this sub job, I would have been screwed 100%. I would have had no way to pay back the loans, and it would have fallen onto my parents. And I cannot do that. I cannot do that.
That's really tough.
I think if I can do this properly, if I can plan this out properly, I'll be fine.
Do you have a plan right now?
Just barely, but I will be fine.
I know you mentioned your plan was to like go really, really, really hard on YouTube. First of all, is your job getting in the way of that now? And what is that your plan?
My plan is still to do both YouTube and this job. As a matter of fact, my plan going forward for my variety content is I'm going to schedule things very far into the future. At this current moment, I have entire playthroughs scheduled up to November.
Wow.
Yeah. I've got Jack and Daxter 1. It's all done this month. Sly 4 Thieves in Time in September. October, I still have to do. I just put up a poll for that. That's the people on my channel want to see Resident Evil Biohazard now, so I guess that's what I'm doing for that. But for November, Jak and Daxter 2. So that's all scheduled. Everything's done.
Yeah,
So,
I guess that's the beauty of what you do, right? Because like I said, like I mentioned earlier, it's evergreen content, and it'll always kind of be there. You can schedule in advance, and I guess like you said, that does leave room in case anything massive ends up coming out.
Fortnite, Geometry Dash Gauntlets, whatever I need to do. Destiny, because I used to do Seal Guide videos. I still do.
I love that. That's really, really smart, actually.
Yeah.
So another thing
do.
Another thing that I wanted to ask you about, and it was talking about your recent video. You mentioned that you were looking into getting into voice acting. Is that still something that you want to do? I don't know if that's something you were looking to because you were struggling to find a job. I don't know if that's something that you were wanting to do down the road.
I've always wanted to do that. Well before the whole can't find a job thing, I've always wanted to do that. All my life, I've been told by everybody, like, you got a radio show voice.
You do.
You have a great voice. Like, you can do this, you can do that. And I'm just like, thank you.
Dude, like,
I can do whatever.
It is literally the perfect. I'm not even just glazing you because you're here right now. Like, it is the perfect content for Ryan. I'm just like in here doing something with my baby. Nothing crazy on the screen. It's just nice, calm gameplay. Nice voice. You do have a radio voice.
And I can do quite the impressions too, but not when everyone's asleep.
Okay, I gotta hear those sometime. I don't think I've ever heard any of those.
Oh my god, I can do like almost anything that you can think of. Morty,
really?
Lemon Grab from Adventure Time, everything. I can do it.
Oh, that'd be good for, I mean, some YouTube projects you could do too, but that's obviously out of your workflow over here.
I feel like I'd be a little cringy if I did it, but it's great when I make friends.
That's true, actually.
Start out with that, and they're having a ball.
Maybe make some videos down the road of like squad filling with people doing an impression of somebody, like those videos that used to go viral in the BO2 days, like Cartman plays Fortnite.
Or, there was a video I did long ago. Oh my god, I think I called it like Fortnite's funniest home videos or something like that. I was doing Peter Griffin impressions the whole video. And I was talking like an Irish guy. Oh my god!
Hey,
do
you mean to say it was a bad
this
accent?
video talking an Irish tone?
That's actually pretty good. I'm Irish and I can't even do that. Yeah, my impressions are embarrassing. It's worse than being cringy actually, because it's just flat out bad. So when you said that when you said this is something that you always wanted to do, did you want to do anything for like shows, or what was the goal there?
I think one of the things that I've always wanted to do is be a prominent character in a video game.
Okay.
Because that's an ever-evolving story. It could be changing. It could be staying the same. You could have a character that's there for 12 plus years, or it could be a character that's there for a year and then gets killed off somehow. I don't really care how it is. If I have a character and I can portray that character in a way that's memorable in any capacity, I'm all for it.
Have you done it yet?
I have not. There was an opportunity. This opportunity, unfortunately, probably has been canceled now. But do you know Lance Reddick?
No.
So he is a big time actor. He was recently in John Wick. He was Zeus in Percy Jackson and the Olympians on Disney Plus. But he was most known for being Commander Zavala in Destiny. And there was actually an impression that I did of him at one point. And this one dude, he reached out to me and he's like, would you like to voice Zavala in one of my projects? I'm like, hell yeah, I could do that. I would love to do that. And then Lance Reddick died like a year later. And it's like, oh God, that's not great.
The bad luck continues.
I don't know if that's a good idea to do that now.
Oh, that sucks. How do you even approach getting into that stuff? I imagine it's like really, really difficult to get into.
I got lucky that somebody just sent me a message on my business email, but at this rate, like, you can't get into voice acting unless you go through like agencies. You have to have an agent. You have to do talent management. It's all this extra stuff. And I'm just like, can't you just like bring me a job and I'll be like, hey, I'll do this. Here's my voice. Send you a couple clips for audition. I don't know, something.
Overcomplicating it, just like real life now.
It's voice acting is just like if you were to go into actual acting. You have to have all this extra management stuff, and it's it's so, it feels so convoluted. I
No, yeah.
really don't like it.
Yeah, I always thought that would be fun to do too. Except obviously I don't necessarily have the radio voice that you have. But I guess there's something for everybody maybe.
You don't have to have a radio voice to be able to do something.
I meant your.
That's
I
how
meant,
I think
yes,
of it.
yeah. I guess that's a good point. I was more so saying like you're so nice and soothing.
I've heard that about, let's see, 50 times in the last year.
Is it, here's something that I wasn't even gonna ask you. Your voice. Well, I would imagine this is just your real voice. It isn't you trying it all, right?
No, this is me.
I didn't think so, but I just wanted to, in case you're just doing it like nice and calm for the microphone.
No, that's me.
But anyways,
I wish I could just turn it on and off and be like, "Hi, this is me," and then be like, "Hey, this is actually how I sound."
Yeah, that'd be weird. But
Yeah,
let's switch it up a little bit. I want to ask what your favorite game is.
Sly 2 Band of Thieves.
Oh, yeah, you mentioned that. I'm sorry.
Yes.
How
No,
about
I didn't say it was a specific one. I said Sly Cooper, but
Oh, okay,
Sly
okay,
2,
gotcha.
Sly 2 is 100% my favorite game of all time.
I wish I could expand on that, but I know nothing about that. Is there anything you'd like to add about Sly Cooper? I'm sure there's a lot of people that love Sly Cooper.
One of the reasons why I liked Sly Cooper, and especially Sly 2 Band of Thieves, it is a platformer in some aspects, which I was a huge platformer fan. But Sly Cooper, when it started, was a collectible game. You go around collecting clue bottles, open up safes, collect treasure keys, progress through levels, stuff like that, similar to Spyro and Crash. And Sly 2 released, and it was the first game around that time where it completely shifted the genre of its original game to something different and something new, innovative, and so fun. I mean, Sly 1, like I said, treasure keys, collectible clue bottles, standard beginning to end levels. With Sly 2, you're introduced to this cast a little bit further. You're delving a little bit further into their stories, and you're literally going on heists. Like, you're starting out like, okay, this is what we got to do first in order to get to step A, B, C. And then you can choose, okay, which one of these do you want to do next? We're going to have to do them all eventually, but which one's next? And then you just keep doing missions, keep following through, finding out new things until eventually you get up to the final operation where you pull the heist. You do this, you take down the big bad, and you get whatever it is you're trying to find. But on top of all of that, you've also got all these hidden collectibles around that give you special powers. You can open up the safes. You can find random treasures, run them back to your hideouts and get money. There's so many different things that you could do with Sly 2. And it broadened one of my favorite games into something even more amazing.
No,
and that's why I love it so much.
It sounds like an awesome experience. Again, I heard so many good things about it. I've just never played it.
Yeah, I highly recommend it.
And like you mentioned, I grew up on Crash. I grew up on Spyro. Not so much Spyro. I don't know how many games are out for Spyro, but I played a couple Spyro games. Well, my first one was on the GameCube, but I loved those games, so I'm sure that I would love Sly Cooper too.
Out of the good ones, I'd say there's probably about 4
of Sly Cooper.
Of Spyro.
Oh, sorry.
But
okay.
Of Sly Cooper, there's only 4 games.
Okay.
They have 2 mini games. There's one that comes with the PS3 collection, and then one on PlayStation Plus that's tied to the 4th game. But there's actually only 4 games.
Interesting. One day I'll be checking those out for sure. I want to ask you a little bit more about your YouTube content. Is there anything that you haven't done that you want to dive into one day, whether that's just a particular style of gaming video that you haven't done yet, or if it's something that you would need to make a second channel for, like anything?
So I actually have 2 things to say about this. One, I do have a second channel. I have not advertised it. I don't know if I'll advertise it. It's entirely boss fight compilations.
Interesting.
I used to watch them all the time when I was younger.
Yeah, no, there's definitely a audience for that.
I just was like, you know what? I play these games. I record some of them, no commentary sometimes, just for the hell of it. Why not?
Why haven't you
I've
released
uploaded. The channel's up and the videos are up, but I just feel like I want to see if it can naturally grow as its own thing.
Oh, I'm sorry. I misunderstood you. They're not unlisted. It's like a published second channel.
Yeah, no, it's a full
Okay,
published
okay.
second channel. I just
Gotcha.
haven't advertised it.
No, I get that. Like, you'd want it to just find its own little
Yeah.
slot in the YouTube recommended.
But in terms of stuff I haven't done yet, I don't think that the stuff I haven't done is stuff I need to make another channel for. I think I could do it on my channel. But there is actually something that I took inspiration from Smosh for. Recently, Shane and Spencer from Smosh have been compiling photos from popular video games and trying to guess what those games are. I was going to do something like that in the near future. I've actually asked a couple of my friends to just find games that they know that maybe I don't know and just send them my way and see if I can figure it out.
That's actually a really good idea for a video.
Yeah, so I was going to do something like that soon and see, and they were going to throw in some ones that I would know, but they're going to make them so minuscule that I'll be like, oh, that tiny detail, I know where that's from. But yeah, I've always wanted to do that.
Why haven't you?
But I feel like if I did it myself, then that defeats the whole purpose. And I don't really have too many friends out there that are willing to go through and put that effort in to be like 25 games. Here's 25 photos. Send them to him. See if he can figure it out and send him the list later. I don't have anybody that really does that much.
Yeah. And you're not the type to fake content. I'm not saying you should. I'm just I understand that.
I did fake one thing.
Hit me.
And the only reason I did is because I accidentally recorded half of it with no commentary, and it didn't work too well. The Spider-Man playthroughs on my channel, Spider-Man 1 and Spider-Man Miles Morales, both games, I was recording through my Elgato for the first time, and both times audio corrupted. And I had to go through and be like, yeah, game. The whole first episode of Spider-Man, the very first one I did, yeah, it was dubbed over.
Oh my god,
not proud
my
of it.
heart would break. My heart broke because I just recorded a video not so long ago, and I think only like 18-ish minutes of it ended up getting, like, every once in a while, I don't know what happens. You stop the recording, corrupted. I'm like, okay, thanks.
I never had issues with audio or video or anything corrupting through OBS.
It's
but
rare.
As soon as I did that Elgato stuff, I was using the Elgato capture. I wasn't using OBS because I didn't know you could do that. So I was using the Elgato capture, and that sucks.
Dude, I used to make a lot of Smash Bros. Content, and I needed, of course, the capture card for it. It was hell. I hated it. I don't get me wrong. I love Smash Bros. I like making content. I love talking about it. I love playing it. But the capture card, man.
The one that I have, it's, I don't know. Maybe I can get it in the frame here. It's this one.
Not yet. A little more. Almost there.
Almost.
Kind of. Okay. We got the gist of it.
Yeah. HD 60X, I think is what it is. But I found out that I can actually just stream it right through to my computer, open up OBS, and go straight to the Elgato through OBS. Yep. So I don't need to use all that crappy capture card stuff. I can just OBS streams right through. I'm good.
OBS is beautiful. I love OBS, and I especially for these videos where it's just like typically one take. Like, we're 42 minutes in right now. My heart will break if this thing gets like corrupted. I'm always worried about that. And I know it won't happen, but
it's been that long.
I know.
Wow.
It's nice when you're having these nice conversations. Like I said, that's why I asked you earlier how much time you had today, because time just flies.
Yeah.
I'm having a good time.
That's why my throat hurts, though.
Thank you for coming. Yeah, I'm almost out of water here. Usually I have a coffee, but it's late at night. This is the thing with you, eh? We record stuff late at night.
I had 3 bottles. Now I've got...
Did you just drink them all?
Well, 1, almost 2, and I got a little bit of this one left.
Why not drink one at a time?
Good thing to point out. I don't know. I think I just grabbed one and I forgot.
All right, let's get back on track here. I want to ask you how you stay motivated to post as long as you have been posting for, because that is an insane amount of time, especially with the type of videos that you make. It must be at times dreading.
Take necessary breaks. That's all I can say.
That's fair.
If you overdo yourself and you get to a point where you don't want to do it anymore, that's not good. In the recent months, since I've been recording so much, prepping for the job and stuff, I won't lie, I haven't recorded a YouTube video for anything variety in like, it has to have been like a month and a half now. And that's just because I've got so much far ahead. But I've done things like the Cybertruck, Jam Track reviews every Thursday or every other Thursday now. I'll do that stuff, but take those breaks, focus on yourself from time to time, and that motivation should stay as long as you're determined. The one thing that I know for me is that I'm never going to give up because I enjoy doing it. So I know that if I enjoy doing it, there's got to be somebody out there that'll enjoy watching it.
That's totally true. And it comes off that way too. You never come off in your videos and just seem like, oh, here I am. Because some streamers do that. They just do not want to stream. They do not want to play the game. You don't give off that vibe.
Yeah.
So, I mean, breaks are definitely necessary, but you've been doing this for a really, really long time. It's incredible. It's something to look up to. So, yeah, honestly, great work so far. How long do you plan on doing this for?
Until I'm done with what I want to do. If I get to a point where I have nothing else that I can do, I'll be content.
I feel like
if I've done everything I want, that's good. I
feel like there's always going to be more games coming out, though, so I don't know.
Then maybe I'll never stop. You never know.
If it's okay if you're not comfortable sharing this, how old are you?
I am 24.
Oh my God,
you're about to be 25.
So many years of gaming to go.
Mm-hmm.
Something you were just mentioning, though, that I wanted to talk about, but it slipped my mind, actually, is the Jam Track reviews. How did the idea for that one come about? Because they seem to be doing pretty well.
I loved Guitar Hero. Absolutely loved it. I was obsessed with it when it was out. And seeing that come to Fortnite and be so easily accessible and also be something that I can consistently talk about because the charting is so different every time, that is massive interest for me. It's nostalgic and it feels right.
You know what's funny is growing up, I actually hated Guitar Hero. I hated it. I don't know why. I just wasn't my thing. And I love Fortnite Festival. It's so weird. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's a different songs. I don't know, but it's a really good game. Let me ask you about this now. I wasn't actually going to ask you about this, but I guess it's a good topic I think it'll fit in the evergreen thing that we're talking about over here. How do you feel about the metaverse for Fortnite?
If done well, I think it could be spectacular.
Do you not think it's been done well?
I don't think it's been done well yet.
I love that.
I think we got a few things that need to be fixed before we can get to a point where it's going to be good.
What would you do to fix it?
I would focus less on making Fortnite a platform right now. I would focus more on flushing it out and finishing the story that has been built over these last few years rather than abandoning it. And I feel like what I would have done before trying to push this metaverse feel, I would have eased into it. I would have, instead of the whole, big bang, like, oh, Eminem, bam, everything's different all of a sudden. I wouldn't have gone there just yet. I would have flushed out the story, tied up loose ends, get to a point where you're like, okay, I'm content. Now we can get started.
Interesting.
And once we get started, then you can be like, okay, maybe we dedicate a certain amount of collabs each month or each year. We stop focusing on chapter separations each year. I think the best thing, keep collabs a surprise, keep people expecting something and then delivering something completely outlandish that they'd love even more and they would never expect. But also kind of just be like, not too much. Not like 7 collabs in a week and then no original characters. Like I don't like that.
That's really interesting because I've actually never heard anybody, at least from my knowledge, or even watched anybody who said that the storyline should come to an end.
I think it should if it's done well.
Yeah, assuming that they complete Donald Mustard's story and they wrap up all loose ends. I feel like this community still wouldn't necessarily be happy about it. But then again, if they eased into the metaverse more that you said, I guess maybe people would have been okay with it. I personally like what they're doing right now. Like let me backtrack that a little bit. I'm not disappointed either, but I do think that it could have been done better. I do like what you said in the sense where it's like all of the sudden the game is changed, and it was such a massive change.
5 things.
Yeah. What I was just thinking about, like, was, as you were saying that, is if they did something like Fall Guys and add it into BR, we have a mini game for it. And I think if they were to introduce their new metaverse things through something like that, where this is intertwined with Battle Royale, and maybe, okay, Fall Guys is here now, and just start slowly updating that until a point where it's at comfortable, and then you could bring something else. I personally think that would be a good idea.
What I would love, and this kind of is kind of similar to what you were just saying, what I would love is if we do collabs in the future. I'm okay with having some collabs be in the Battle Pass, but I don't like exclusivity. I would love it if they straight up say, if there's a collab skin in the Battle Pass, it has a chance to come later. But the skins that are in the Battle Pass that are original and themed after that season, those stay exclusive. I'm okay with that.
That's an interesting way to compromise it, because you have a lot of people talking about, like, I want this back, or no, keep it exclusive.
Nobody's ever going to be able to get Geralt of Rivia now, or Doom Guy.
It's true.
Why is it a good idea? That's not a good idea. If you want a metaverse, you need to have everything be easily accessible.
Yeah, I was actually going to mention that, because it kind of, I would be okay with it, but now that they have this giant metaverse where anybody can be anything, you can play as whoever you want, now I'm kind of more leaning on towards what you said, where it's like, okay, maybe everybody should be able to play with Doom Guy.
We don't have a metaverse, we have half a verse.
Yeah, there's so many different conflicting feelings I have when it comes to Battle Pass skins staying exclusive, but ultimately I'm kind of changing my tune and agreeing with you. It's been a little bit of a gradual thing for me. We've been talking about it a lot on this channel over here, so I get that. But I also think that they could just reskin something and it not really be that big of a deal. But then if somebody really, really, really wants to play as Darth Vader, it won't actually be Darth Vader.
Yep. And one other thing too, what I would love to see with collaborations in the future as well is if we have more crazy and cool and fun experiments, like the Fall Guys thing. The fact that you can go up to an idol and be like, praise the idol, and then you're up in the sky in some obstacle course. That's cool. I'd love to see collaborations like that. Like, imagine Marvel collaborations starting in the future. Like, let's say it's the Marvel season, and you start out, nobody's on the island, not a single person, but you start finding all these comic pages, and you have to reassemble them yourself on the island. And over that week or over the next 2 weeks, once you assemble them all, boom, they come to life off the page, and there they are. Thor, Groot, She-Hulk, all of them. Like, that's the kind of stuff I think we should be doing for collabs in this game.
Yeah,
Fortnite is supposed to be crazy and outlandish. It always has been, always should be. The fact that we're just going minimalistic, like, it's update night. What are we getting this week? Dragon Ball in the item shop. X-Men later on in that week, maybe. Nothing else.
No, I 100% agree with that. Like, they've really been missing the marks a little bit with collabs lately, but I'm pretty confident in Chapter 6. I keep talking about how I believe Epic Games is kind of we're in a developmental stage. There's a lot to work on, a lot of brand new things, and I think it'll take time to really get used to. Like you said, you think the metaverse will be good, but just not yet.
And I think they're limiting themselves to these chapters. They shouldn't be forcing them to be every year.
Yeah, do you think every 2 years, or just no chapters in general?
I think a chapter should end when a story ends.
Oh, okay.
So right now, what story do we have? Pandora's box and some gems, and like that's it. The gods. In a year, how are you going to resolve that story when we haven't even gotten anything?
Yeah, I haven't personally been satisfied with the story either, but at least it looks like they're trying a little bit, but sometimes it also looks like they just don't try at all.
I think there's people who really want to put a lot of effort into this game. Like we've seen with Donald Mustard. He wanted to put a ton of effort into this. He had this huge story built up. And then other people in management were just like, no, we're doing this.
The problem is, and let me get your thoughts on this. I actually understand that decision from Tim Sweeney and whoever else is above Donald Mustard, their perspective in the sense where it's like, okay, we gotta take those resources and put it on the new metaverse because we need more workers, and that's where we're gonna grab it from. I personally think, like, if I was in charge, just because I love Fortnite, I think that Epic Games, and I hate using this argument, I hate it because, like, everybody just goes, oh, billion-dollar company. I get it, but I think they can afford the extra people to work on the storyline. But if that's completely off the table, I understand why they got rid of it, because there's so, in the grand scheme of things, there's a minority of the player base that is really attached to this storyline. I've had friends that have played every single day since I started playing Fortnite in Chapter 1, Season 3. They could care less about the storyline. I get it. How do you feel about that? What do you think should be done from a business perspective?
From a business perspective, you're right in a lot of senses. It's tough to allocate those resources to something that you just cannot afford. And I think in that business sense, you should focus on what makes you the most money and what keeps your business afloat. But if there's even the slightest nod, the slightest thing that shows that something is failing, I feel like right then and there, they should be like, okay, we got to change something up. We got to do it quick. The fact that it took so long and then there's just that immediate switch, that is what kind of doesn't sit right with me. I feel like if there's a lot more effort put into it early on, then maybe these could have been avoided.
You're right. Yeah, I keep sitting here and I'm like you said, I get it. I understand why they're doing it, but I feel like they could just afford to keep like the hardcore fans happy. Isn't that a good thing at the end of the day? I think they could sacrifice a little bit for it, but again, it's not my company. That's where I'm stuck with this whole thing.
Well, we'll never really know unless we're part of the company. So I guess you can't really say too much without being just more biased than anything. But
maybe we'll see some straw voice acting for Charlie Wins Fortnite storyline. Maybe.
That would be nice.
Anyways, let's circle back. We got a little bit off topic of Fortnite. I wanted to ask you for. Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't get that.
I was just saying, you need a voice for the Wanderer. You got him.
He's had no voice so far. It could be anybody. So I want to circle back to YouTube. I do want to ask you about some Fortnite stuff as we close things out. But sticking with YouTube, what advice would you give to somebody coming up in the YouTube scene right now?
If you've got a dream, go for it. If you have something that you think you can bring to the table, don't give up. Don't give up when things seem like they're low in views, or if you are legitimately enjoying what you do, the view count shouldn't matter. It's all about enjoyment, and the people who watch your videos, they can sense that. They will see that, and they will be like, this guy loves it, so I love it. Yeah, I love seeing this. You've even said you enjoy watching what I do because I enjoy doing what I do.
Yeah, it comes off genuine.
And you're dull and you're just, hey guys, welcome back to this video. Today we're going to record Call of Duty Black Ops 3. How do you expect that's going to get views if you're not trying? If you know that something's not going to succeed, if you know that you're not going to enjoy it, don't do it. You know how many videos I've scrapped because I knew that I wasn't going to enjoy it? I literally started throwing in some random stuff back in the day, like lost recordings of this game. It was a lost recording for a reason. It wasn't good. My only video on Valheim, I could have done better.
Hey, it happens. I love that though. Yeah, passion's a really, really big thing for it. And if it's really easy to say, but if you like your job, you'll be better at it, right?
Yeah, exactly.
And it's really easy to continuously, at least for me, like it's been, I should, but I never really look at my YouTube analytics because I just enjoy talking about things. I keep uploading, and I don't mean to like glaze myself over here, but I do get a lot of comments where it's like, oh, you can tell, like people say about you, I've heard this about your channel as well, where it's genuine. You can tell you enjoy it. I get those comments too, and that's what I like to think people bring to the channel. Like that's why people like watching it. So I get that. Passion's a really, really big thing. I want to ask you, branching off of that, what are your thoughts on the Fortnite content scene at the moment? I've been asking a lot of other people about this, and it's interesting to hear everybody's answer because there are a lot of people who want to make content, and there's a lot of people who are thinking about quitting. They don't see a future in Fortnite. The metaverse is garbage. What are your thoughts on the Fortnite content scene in general?
It's very limiting. I will say that. But if you can legitimately find something that you enjoy doing, and you can find something that is completely different, maybe a lot of people will enjoy watching or seeing, go for it. I don't think that creativity is completely limited to anybody. It's limiting for me, and it's limiting to a lot of others, because most of the content we're used to just doesn't happen anymore. I mean, I feel like nowadays we're more subjected to, this cool item has been added, let's play it. This skin is in Fortnite, let's try it out. These are gem tracks. It's all the same. And
I get that.
I feel like if we don't have some variety, that's not going to change. Therefore, it's limiting, because you can only do so much of it before you're like, okay, I can't do this anymore. Or I need to take a break from this.
Yeah, I actually think there is a lot of potential, and I'm hoping, man, with all of my heart, that it doesn't get vaulted again. We just today, at the time recording this video, we had proximity chat added to creative. I think did you not know that?
No, I didn't know that.
Today. Yeah, it was supposed to come out at the end of the year.
The one update I didn't stay up for.
Dude, I think that content has so much potential. And I don't think, like, if you're good at it, at being funny in proximity chat, I think you can create wholesome moments until, like, the end of time.
Oh my God, I can see it now. Just some dude walking by, just like, hello, I gotta go get my bagel.
Yeah, no, literally stuff like that. And just the maps that you can play, the horror maps, the murder mystery maps, anything. Like, I'm excited to play box fights with proximity chat. Honestly, like, I think that has so much potential. I hope it comes to BR one day. I don't know how that'll go, but that brings me a lot of hope.
Call of Duty.
Yes.
Oh,
that's literally the only reason that really brought me to Warzone was proximity chat. So I'm hoping for the best, and I'm feeling pretty good about the content scene in the future. I think the metaverse, the big bad metaverse, will bring some good opportunities, and this might be one of them.
Yeah. Like you said, I'm hopeful. I'm hopeful that things will switch up in a way that maybe we have a new genre of content somehow. But right now, there's some work that needs to be done, I think, before creators can really get that sense of accomplishment back with most of their videos.
I understand what you mean there.
But,
so is there any particular vision you have for what Fortnite content will end up being, or is it too difficult to take a look at right now?
It's really difficult to even pinpoint where it could be leading to right now. I know for a while it's mostly going to be, this is the update, this is what's new, and maybe some funny moments here and there. Like, I think probably the most enjoyable thing to watch about Fortnite right now, Jojo Josiah.
Yes, sir.
His funny moments. The only thing keeping me watching Fortnite content right now. The guy is hilarious.
Did you see his new ranked
video?
video?
He finds. Yes.
So good. So good.
Oh my God. Oh, he makes the best of any situation, I'll tell you that.
Yeah, I've been streaming with him a lot recently. The dude is a blast to play with. I've been pumping out shorts just because of him. Like,
I have so many funny moments of him in Lethal Company.
Oh my God. Yes.
That's so good.
No, that dude can bring laughter wherever he goes. That's what I appreciate about him.
Yeah.
So what do you do, going back to a little bit to you specifically, what do you do in your free time when you're not making any content?
Well, I'm probably either playing a lot of games still, or I am drawing.
Drawing, okay.
I have made a lot of concept skins in the last few years, but it didn't start with that. I've actually, over the last, I don't even know how long it's been now. It's got to be at least like 13, 14 years since I started, but there is a game, this whole storyline that I've been working on for at least 13 years.
Your own original, I'm assuming, right?
Oh, yeah.
That's
full on
sick.
Original. I was making it before Destiny became a thing, and some of it has a few. It's a little bit similar in some cases, like traveling through different planets and
Mhm.
experiencing these new storylines. But I've been working on this for a long time, and I think that that's one of my favorite things to do in my pastime is just keep coming up with stories, keep coming up with characters. I mean, I'm connecting my actual real life friends and family to these characters and building stories out of them that I would always love to see.
That's
So
nice.
that is my biggest thing that I do in my free time is work on that. But besides that, PlayStation 5. I'm a platinum trophy collector. I'm always looking for something 100% complete.
Do you ever plan on like because I know you want to do game design and all that, or like I'm assuming that is down like what you want to do down the road, right? Do you want to ever
Mhm.
bring that to life?
Creative director. Always
Okay,
wanted that
okay.
position because I can pitch the story, I can make the story, and allocate the resources that I need to make it come to life.
I would love to see that. Honestly, best of luck. I hope it all. I hope that all works out because I would love to see that original story, especially been working on it for so long. That'd be
Oh yeah,
amazing. What about writing a book? Would you ever
it's all
consider that?
flushed out to the point where even I could write a book if it comes down to it.
Yeah, was that something
I
that you would
mean,
do?
if I can't make a game, I'm putting that story out there somehow.
Ah, I love that. I love that. So, kind of going on the same thing more just about you. You seem to be, and this is something that I really, really admire about you. You seem to be very thankful for the support that you have at the moment. Send a message to anybody who might be thinking otherwise because so many people, especially coming up in YouTube right now, are so laser focused on making it big. They don't appreciate any of the small steps or any of the milestones that they hit. How do you keep that mindset? A lot of people get their kind of egos stroked as they go through YouTube.
For me, I've been through the ups and downs of YouTube. I know what it's like to feel successful, and I know what it's like to lose it all. Having the mindset of even having any support at all, it just it makes things so much better because I can look at a video and even if it's one simple comment of like good video, I'm sitting there like, hey, somebody took the time to say that.
Dude,
That's
that's how
nice.
I feel about it too. I don't know how people can't do that. Like, I really, really don't get it.
If you're doing YouTube only for the money, you're not doing it right. You got to have passion into it. You got to put effort into it. Otherwise, it's not really going to get you anywhere.
I mean, you're right for the most part. It is possible, but the other route definitely is the better way to
No,
go.
I do know a few people who I guess are doing it just for the money and still being successful. But
Dude, I'm at a
then
place.
again,
I'm at a place right now where I feel bad because like I'm thankfully like, and I'm so thankful for it. Where I'm at the point now where I'm getting too many comments on my videos to keep up with, and I keep thinking, and I don't know how this is gonna be down the road. It's gonna feel even worse because I'm like, people took their time out of their day to write this really really in depth comment about the video that I did, and I'm like just flat out ignoring it. I feel so bad. Like I don't know how people can just like not even look at the comments. Period.
I think the first step to feeling better about that is the fact that you feel bad to begin with, because that in itself shows that you care enough.
I mean, it's easy. It's easy to say here, but like, you know,
Yeah.
it's
If
it's
I got to a point where I had that many comments, which that doesn't happen often, I'd be lucky if I even get one nowadays. But if I have any comments at all to the point where I can, like, it's so many to sift through, I'll look at it and I'll be like, I'll answer what I can. But I feel like in my eyes, no matter what, if somebody comments, I feel like maybe I've done something to help them or maybe done something to make them feel better to take the time to do so. Obviously, there's hate comments and stuff like that. Just do whatever you want to do. I'm not going to worry about that. But um, I don't know. I feel for me, if I miss a comment or two, yeah, I understand feeling bad. But ultimately, sometimes YouTube just doesn't like to show you comments all the time. I mean,
oh yeah, people get marked
I
as spam.
I was looking through my comments. I found probably about a month ago, I found a comment from 7 years ago. Never even knew it was there. It
That's
was
hilarious.
marked.
Did you
It
reply
was
to it?
marked as my spam. I looked at it. I'm like, that's old.
Did you reply to it?
I liked it. That's
I
it.
would have. I would have.
I didn't heart it. I didn't comment. I just liked it.
Could
It's
you
like,
imagine just, hey, just get into this? Thanks.
yeah. You asked me a question 7 years ago about something I have no answer to now. Yes.
I love that. We're going to head towards closing this thing out now. I want to ask you a little bit about Fortnite. Do you still enjoy Fortnite?
Yes, I very much do.
How do you find that enjoyment?
Most of the enjoyment that I have right now is kind of tied to the way that I decide to play it. Before it was all, when it was all battle royale, it was the same thing over and over again. And over time, I didn't enjoy it as much because it felt the same. The only thing that I've enjoyed a lot over this metaverse thing right now is the fact that you can play battle royale until you get bored. And then you can be like, okay, do I want to play Lego? Do I want to do racing? Or do I want to do Fortnite Festival? And now, as of today, we have Fall Guys maps that we can play. Even more options. I think that's what's keeping me going right now is the fact that you can do whatever you want. There's so much variety. This kind of variety that we had back in challenges when I was on it nonstop, it's what we have now, but with the whole game.
Mm-hmm.
That's nice.
Yeah, I completely feel the same way as you.
Going.
I totally get that. It's shocking to me how many people are falling out of love with the game.
Yeah, I can't understand that.
No, well,
I'm not going to fall out of love with the game. Yes, I might not play Battle Royale as much, but so many other options.
Yeah, no, that's still loving the game,
something.
dude. Like, I've been playing Fortnite Reload, pretty much nothing else lately.
I don't think I've touched it yet, other than one video.
It's so good. It's so good, dude. You got to play it. Assuming you like the competitive aspect of it a little bit. It gets a little bit sweaty.
I'm not too big a competitive player, so
then
maybe
you're
I'll
not
stray
missing
away
out on
from
much.
that. But
can't hurt to try. It has a lot of fan favorite weapons. But I do want to ask you, one season, not like your top 5 or anything. If you had to pick one, what is your all-time favorite and your all-time least favorite season? Did I say season?
You did now.
Season.
My all-time favorite season is Chapter 2, Season 4.
Oh,
the first Marvel season.
You must be hyped about next season.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. They better bring back those superhero powers. If they don't, oh, man, that's going to be a missed opportunity.
Dude, I don't have hope for it with the way they handled the cars this time around. I do not have hope for it.
And the punch card systems, those were good.
I don't know if they'll bring that back either. I hate to sit here and be a negative Nancy over here, but I don't have faith that we're going to get those things.
I'm in agreement. I'd be surprised if we did, but it'd be nice.
So what'd you like about that season?
It felt so chaotic, and it also felt, I'm a huge Marvel nerd, so to see all of that come to fruition in the ways that it did in one of my favorite games, oh my God, that was so good.
It was done incredibly well.
Oh, it was great. And the tournaments, the fact that you could compete while playing as superheroes, just Wolverine claws, Venom's just grab and pull or whatever. I don't remember what that ability was, but all of these different powers and the fact there was no weapons, no nothing, just powers for tournaments, competing to get Marvel skins early. Yeah, I loved it. I would love to see that again.
I can just hope for the best, but unfortunately, I don't have the faith.
Yeah.
What's your least favorite?
My least favorite. Wow, that's a tough one. I think my least favorite season is Chapter 5, Season 1.
Hey, I actually agree with you on that.
I think it was the only season that we've ever had where, yeah, we had a brand new map. Yeah, things were completely different, but there wasn't anything special with it. Throughout the entire season, we maybe had a couple of collaborations that were good, but ultimately it was just new map, the train, a couple of new items. That's it.
Yeah.
That didn't really do much.
I'm there with you. I personally, and I don't know if you feel the same way, but I personally enjoyed my entire time playing Fortnite. There wasn't a time where I've ever not wanted to play, but that was probably, I almost want to say by far my least favorite season. But I still enjoy myself playing. It's just comparing it to all of the other seasons.
I still finish the battle pass like I do with every season, but it's just seasons like that where there isn't much with it, and it's just one solid theme of new map, underground, society. They're fighting. We've seen it before 3 different times before this. What's different about this one?
Yeah, it just didn't hit this time, unfortunately.
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles are under the streets, but that's about it.
That wasn't big either.
Yeah.
So let me ask you one more Fortnite question. You pick one thing. If you were in charge of Epic Games today, what is one change or one thing that you would implement immediately?
There are so many concept skins out there made by actual people besides Epic. I think we need to give at least a few more people that time to shine.
How about the Concept Royale?
Even better.
I loved that.
Concept Royale. More contests, more themes that people can follow. Let their creativity flow if you give them a theme.
And you know what? Even if it ended up being a money thing, people would do that for free.
Yeah, I would have.
Yeah.
I would have done it for free.
If I was artistic like that, I would do it for free as well. But there are so many people who are so dedicated to this game, love it so much that they like create so many different skins, outfits, ideas, and they constantly post them. And the Concept Royale was such a beautiful, beautiful thing for the community to actually have a chance of getting their stuff in.
I have 50 original characters specifically for Fortnite.
I got to see some after.
I have an art station tied to my account. You can see all of them there.
Perfect. I want to.
I have so many of these things.
Would you... Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you were done. Sorry about that.
No, it's fine. I was going to say, I have so many of these things, but despite the fact that I have so many, there are at least like thousands of other people out there that some of their stuff has gone completely unnoticed. I feel like if we had a division at Epic that is directly and solely dedicated on finding these skins made by actual people in the community, we'd actually have a lot of cool stuff come to the game.
That's so true.
There's so much stuff out there.
So would you implement something like the Concept Royale, or just like you would just pick any way to get the community getting their skins in the game? Have somebody just scouting them, like you said?
What I would do, besides the Concept Royale, I do think that's a good idea. What I would do, if I was in charge of anything at Epic, they've got to have, I can't imagine they wouldn't have meetings where they sit down and they discuss, okay, out of all these Epic Dev characters, let's pick out the ones we want in this next build. I can't imagine they're not doing that.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like if they did something like that, they could also take a couple of concept skins, maybe let's say 50 Epic designs, 50 concept skins, bring them all to the same meeting, put them all in a pile, pick and choose what ones you like, and figure out at the end whether they're concept or not.
Mm-hmm.
And then you can be like, that's good. We like it. Put it in there.
Yep.
That would be great. I'd love to do something like that.
I agree. That actually might be my favorite answer so far from, I ask everybody this. I actually kind of like that idea the best, probably. It's pretty solid. But anyways, I've kept you for over an hour and 15 minutes. Before we take off, do you have any closing remarks? Anything you'd like to share? Where can people find you? I will have your links in the pinned comment description down below. If anything you'd like to say before we shut things out, the floor is yours.
The main thing I'd like to say, there's two. One, thank you so much for allowing me to be on this and allowing me to say anything about myself.
Hey,
I feel like I don't get to do that enough.
The thank you comes from all my end, dude. Thank you for your time. I really appreciate it.
The biggest thing for me is I feel like lately I haven't been able to properly say who I am, what I do, and get those people to connect with me on an actual personal level.
Hey, that's the goal.
I'm hoping that this gives a little bit more insight to who I am as a person. But Why am I blanking on this? What was the question?
So, floor is yours. I said closing remarks, something you'd like to share.
My mind's racing. Second thing, if you guys are interested in absolutely anything, you can find me on YouTube, StrawDesertHD. I am going to be doing a ton of more polls. So if you have any game recommendations, and I mean anything, send them to me. I'll put them in a pile. I'll put up a poll. You guys can vote.
Perfect.
So I'm going to do that.
We love that. That's all you got?
That's all I can think of.
Awesome. Well, again, I can't thank you enough for your time. I really, really appreciate you being here. And again, for anybody watching this video, pin comment, description down below. The links will be there for you can find Straw. Like I said, guys, I really, really enjoyed talking to Straw, and it was an honor getting to know him because we've done videos and streams. We've talked, I don't want to say like, oh, I don't know this guy, but I've talked to him enough at the point where it's like, hey, Straw's an awesome guy. I know about Straw, but I never really got to connect with him a little bit personally. And this was really, really cool to see because, again, it's just as fun for you guys, or for me as it is you guys, like getting to know these content creators, getting to know more people behind the scenes, and I wish him nothing but the best. His dedication to his YouTube channel is something that's very admirable in my opinion. I respect him as a person a lot. I respect the grind, and I cannot wait to see the day where he reaches the success that he deserves, and it would be so nice to see somebody really succeed after being on YouTube for so long. You can tell the passion's there. You can tell that he loves what he does, and I really, really, really respect that. I like Straw as a person. It was an honor to get to know him. And Straw, if you happen to be watching this, which again, I don't know why any of you who are interviewed come back and watch these videos, but in the off chance that you are, I can't thank you enough for your time. It's an honor having you over on the channel. I know we're going to be doing things in the future, but still, I wish you absolutely nothing but the best, guys. Thank you for being here. Thank you for watching. If you want to watch another interview on the screen right now, we'll have two for you. One we have with Jojo Josiah, and the other one we have with Dagwummy. You can check out either of those two. It's just as good as this one. Thank you so much for being here, guys. Take care.